You just bought a diesel truck and now you're asking yourself what to do next. So today in this video, I'm going to take your stock diesel truck and turn it to a reliable aftermarket machine. I have owned two diesel trucks myself, one a 7.3 Powerstroke and now I currently own a 6.7 Powerstroke. And I just got my EasyLink delete and tune in. And that leads me into my first modification, a EGR and DPF delete. An EGR and DPF delete will allow for better flow and get rid of the notorious problems that these systems cause. I personally went with the delete kit from the Diesel Dudes. That link will be in the description down below if you guys want to buy that exact delete kit. I got the EasyLink tuner as well. That'll also be down in the description down below. This is going to run you about $3,000 for everything, but it's going to be worth it in the long run because you're going to see a drastic increase in fuel mileage. Some of my buddies that we did this with got a 3 to 5 mile per gallon increase, which is massive. And not only do you get better fuel mileage, but your truck sounds 10 times better. The next one that a lot of people don't look at and just look past when they buy a new diesel truck is a dual stabilizer. Now, it's not 100% necessary, but every single Ford and Dodge that I've seen eventually has death wobble with their truck. And it happened to my buddy Joseph. He got the death wobble really bad and it was a $2,300 repair bill. And what he ended up needing was just dual stabilizers. Now, had he put the dual stabilizers on in the beginning, he wouldn't have ever gotten the death wobble. So having those dual stabilizers put on before you actually start really driving your truck is an absolute must. Dual stabilizers will run you between $500 and $1,000 for really good ones. And if you get really crappy ones, which I do not advise, it's going to be anywhere from $200 to $500. But I would recommend getting the good ones, which are between $500 and $1,000. The next one, and the one that I did to my 6.7 Powerstroke very first, is a lift or level. Now, I did a 2.5 inch leveling kit on mine, and that ran me about $200, but you can do the same exact thing on your truck for the same price. Personally, this is one of the first things that I would like to do to my truck just because it gives it a little bit more of an aggressive look and just makes your truck cosmetically look pleasing. It's one of my favorite cosmetic mods for a truck. You can also go with a 6-inch lift kit. I know a lot of people like to go big or go home when it comes to lift kits, so you can also get the Rough Country 6-inch lift kit, which is going to run you about $1,100. And that does not include somebody installing it as well. If you want somebody to install it, it's going to be a whole nother price. The next one is going to be a CP4 disaster kit. The CP4 pump is also a very common problem with Powerstrokes and all around just the diesel truck in general. Any truck that has a CP4 pump is going to run into issues. So I put the disaster kit on there to bypass the CP4 pump so your truck runs better and you don't end up with a $13,000 repair bill. So buying the disaster kit will run you between $1,000 and $3,000, which is a pretty good price comparing to if it were to go out, you're going to spend about $13,000. Now, if you don't have the money for something like this right now, using good fuel additive is a good one. Here's a great example of some good fuel additive that I personally use on my truck every single time I fill up. This one bottle will get me all the way through 4 tanks. So it's $20 per 4 tanks. The next one is going to be changing all your fluids. When you buy a diesel truck, you don't really know where it's been and how it's been treated. So changing all your fluids will ensure that your diesel truck has a fresh start. I would recommend changing your oil filter, your fuel filter, and your transmission fluid. Those are the big 4 that I would look at. And then you can kind of change all your other fluids as you're going down the line. But changing your fluids will make sure that everything runs smooth in the future and that you are on top of your maintenance, which is going to in turn lead to less problems. I did for all my fluids, it's going to be between $300 and $500 to change everything. And that's if you're doing it yourself. The next one, and my personal favorite for a cosmetic mod, is going to be your wheels and your tires. I personally had 35 by 12.5 inch wide tires on my 7.3 Powerstroke and I loved them. They were Nitto Ridge Grapplers. They were on 20 by 10 Fuel Mavic rims and that ran me about $3,500. But it was absolutely one of my favorite cosmetic mods to put on my truck, as well as the level and the lift. So if you are going to put bigger tires, this is why I put the level and the lift before the bigger tires, because if you do put bigger tires without a level or lift, you're going to have a little bit of rub. That way you don't run into a problem when you're turning. Now, the only downside with this cosmetic mod is that you are going to drop in fuel mileage. I saw a 3 mile per gallon decrease in my fuel mileage after I installed the bigger tires. So that is the only real downside of installing bigger tires. The last and final mod I would put on your diesel truck is a kill switch. This is going to ensure that no thieves steal it. You can put all the mods you want on your truck, but if it gets stolen, it's gone forever. So what I would recommend is putting a kill switch on it. I personally sell a honking kill switch down in the description down below that me and my dad have been working on for about 3 years now. A kill switch is going to run you between $150 and $300 for a really good one. And if you want to do, I would recommend getting a good one just because you don't want it to fail on you. Having that kill switch will ensure that no thieves steal your truck and you'll have your truck for a lifetime. Those are the top 7 mods to put on your diesel truck after you buy it to make it look like an aftermarket machine.